Hi everybody, this is Jerry Gerritsen from Tabea Law. Today we're going to talk about these new rules from Ron DeSantis in Florida, the governor of Florida. What I'm calling this is, has Florida gone mad? And the reason I say that is these rules are pretty heavy, and what we're talking about is immigration law, right? Which is federal law. But we got the governor of Florida interjecting these state laws that what they do is, again, we're not changing federal law, right? But he's enhancing the enforcement of these federal laws with the state laws. So that's what we're going to talk about. We're going to do a multi-day series on this. It's affecting people's lives in a rough way. I'm all for immigration reform, but not this way. Immigration reform needs to take place at the federal level because it's immigration law. It's federal law. Hi everybody, this is Jerry Gerritsen, Tabea Law. We're going to be talking today about, has Florida gone mad? Okay, and we're going to talk about the new rules that Ron DeSantis, the governor of Florida, has come out with that enhances the enforcement of federal law, immigration law. All right, and so we'll talk about that. But before we get there, let me remind you to go ahead and subscribe and like this video if you like it, but subscribe, and you can do that right here. You can see the little button up there, so you can see future videos of this. And of course, we're going to have a multi-series, videos on this topic because it's very important and it's urgent, especially if you live in Florida. And then also, if you like, you can get notifications of this, so you're going to want to hit that little bell up there so you can be notified of future videos. Let me be your guide, your partner to the world of immigration law. Right now it's gigantic, especially in Florida, but you know, this is a presidential season and folks are jockeying for position on the Republican side especially. And so this is in Florida now, but you may see copycat immigration rules or state laws enhancing federal or enforcement of federal law in other states. If DeSantis is doing it, then maybe another governor in another state does it. I don't know. All I know is it's going on in Florida now. Let me get to the particulars, and I'll read a little bit here. We'll talk, and then we'll be done for today. DeSantis signed Senate Bill 1718 into law. This was May 9th, 2023. Okay, it's actually my birthday about a month ago. So it's brand new law, and one of the things that you have to think about with new laws, especially when they're radical like this, is how long they will last, because generally the courts get involved and the process is stalled or stopped or changed or whatever. But we'll see if that happens or not. So that's the first thing I want to say. Second thing is let me just continue to read here. A comprehensive effort to restrict the ability of undocumented individuals to live and work in Florida by dramatically enhancing the ability of state law enforcement to enforce immigration laws. Okay, so here's a list of items that we have here. And by the way, I'm a member of ALA, the American Immigration Lawyers Association. I'm reading from their document right here that they put out. Here are the items that we're looking at. We'll be focused on in the next several weeks as we go into this series of Has Florida Gone Mad? And here's again, I just want to repeat myself. I'm for immigration law, and when I say immigration law or immigration reform, so I'm an immigration attorney. I practice all 50 states, licensed and barred in California. Federal law, you can practice all 50 states. And so I want people to be able to come into this country. That's going to push the country forward. I want people to do it the right way. I want people to come here legally and stay and enjoy their lives. Now, there's limits, and I understand that, and I get that. However, our system right now, as you hear over and over and over from both sides of the political aisle, is broken, which means what? It means the laws are so antiquated and difficult that common people have to hire attorneys like me to get it figured out, to try to do it the right way. And if they don't have the means, and if they don't have the time or whatever, they just don't. And so they'll do it illegally. And that's what we're trying to avoid. We don't want people doing it illegally because it's harmful to them if they get caught and they're sent off away and families are disrupted and problems. We don't want that. We want a harmonious country with people coming in and out, and this country being moved forward because of it. This is a country of immigrants, by the way. So let's go ahead and move on with this. This is not a change of federal law. Federal law has not changed one bit on immigration with this bill that DeSantis signed. What he signed is he's given the Florida state officials enforcement. He's enhancing their ability to enforce federal law that's already on the books. Okay, and here's some of the ways he's doing that. Number one, he's requiring hospitals to maintain data on patients' immigration status. Okay, so that's something that Florida is doing now. And so people in the hospital that are undocumented, now they're going to be looking at their immigration status. Number two, mandating the use of E-Verify by Florida employers with over 25 employees. So here we go. Now we got the businesses that are dealing with this in a big way, because the E-Verify is proving or showing that the worker, the employee, is documented or not undocumented, right? By the way, I'm just doing a topical survey today. I'll be getting into each one of these areas of the law that DeSantis just signed really specifically over the next several weeks. Okay, so you want to stay tuned, you want to come back to this channel, you want to listen to this. Okay, so we have that. And then number three, restricting access to Florida drivers' licenses as well as state bar licenses if somebody undocumented wanted to become an attorney, which by the way you can. So and they're barring that, and adding state civil and criminal penalties for violations of its provisions. So they're putting teeth into these enforcement, not just civil but criminal, and that gets people's attention, right? So again, I'm all for federal law. I'm all for enforcing. However, I'm more for changing federal law to make laws easier and clearer, so people that do want to do it right and that do want to do it legally have paths to do it that are reasonable, not paths that are so antiquated and oftentimes don't work for them, and they just default to doing it illegally. And we don't want to do it illegally at all. We don't recommend, we're against that. Okay, we're for legal immigration, but we need to fix the laws to make it workable for everybody. And this is a rough way to move things forward, and it's probably more of a political statement than it is trying to fix the problem here. So anyways, that's it for today. I'm going to talk a whole lot more in the coming weeks, so you're not going to want to miss that. Before I go, I'm going to do my Bible verse of the day. It's in Genesis 2:20, and the Bible says, "And Adam gave names to all cattle, and to the fowl of the air, and to every beast of the field. But for Adam there was not found an helpmeet for him." Again, I want to encourage you to subscribe to this channel if you haven't already done that. And go ahead and hit that little bell up there so you'll be notified of future videos. And if you like the video today, please go ahead and like it. All right, guys, we'll see you next time. Thank you so much.